and shelter of the vaulted yews, like alien gods who shun the world. The flown owls wait with feathers furled, darting eyes they dream and muse. In rows unmoving they remain till the sad hour that they remember, when, treading down the sun's last ember, the towering night resumes its reign. Their attitude will teach the seer how wise and needful is the fear of movement and of travaillement. For shadow-drunken wanderers bear on all their ways the chastisement of having wished to wend elsewhere. Oh, well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't seen you there. Come closer. I promise I won't bite. Closer. So it really is you. You've returned to me after all. I wasn't entirely sure that you would, well, have the constitution to return. And a good thing, too, that you did. For you. What? Oh, nothing. Nonetheless, I'm glad to see that you've made your way back to me. And it looks like you've done some interior decorating. A nice fireplace there in the corner. A stove with a kettle for tea and a couple of comfy chairs. It's like you knew exactly what I wanted. Oh? You mean you didn't do this yourself? It just happened like this? Well, looks like I've taken up residence inside your mind for a little bit. My own little room in your palace. You should watch out. I might just occupy the whole thing, one room at a time. Regardless, how do you fare today? Oh, you cannot sleep? Well, what time is it? Oh, that is rather late. I've no real concept of time in here, locked inside these four walls. Though you'll find that time matters less and less the more of it you've experienced, the more of it you've lived through. Oh? Me? Well, you came in right when I was finishing a poem from one of my favorite poets, Baudelaire. Did you like it? Oh, good. Perhaps I will share more of his work with you in the future. You know, when you come to visit again. Don't tell me you thought that this was just a one-time thing. Well, perhaps you should have inquired about the terms of this contract. But where are my manners? Let me be a gracious host can I interest you in a hot beverage? Fantastic. Any preference? What would I suggest? Well, hot cocoa is nice, especially for these cold nights. But that might just be a little too heavy. Coffee certainly won't do. It won't assist with your sleepless state. And of course, with my love for all things tea, that would be my go-to. Plus, it's just so warm and so soothing. It'll do the trick in putting you right to sleep. How about, you go ahead and, have yourself a seat. There's a nice furry blanket there for you to keep warm. Where did what come from? Oh, the blanket. Well, don't you know that the mind is a limitless thing, capable of all sorts of wonders once you've found your way through its corridors and into some of its more secret passageways. But, my dear, it seems that I digress. You get nice and cozy. I am going to go start the tea. So, you liked the poem? Well then, is reading something that you enjoy doing? I'm quite the avid reader myself. What kinds of literature do you enjoy? What are some of your favorite genres? Oh, yes. Fiction is great. Nonfiction is life. But it's such a general genre. Perhaps you could specify for me? Science fiction is absolutely lovely. Yes, fantasy fantasy is certainly a favorite. And the two combined is always quite the adventure. I'm going to venture out on a limb and say that you probably have a few favorite books that you indulge in, perhaps ones that you've read multiple times again and again and again. The kind of books that you need to come back to every now and then because they elicit a certain response. They make you feel something deep inside. Ah, yes. I understand. So, what would you say those favorite books would be? I've not read that one. Perhaps I will request it. My favorite book? Well, I would say that book would be, it's very difficult. I've read so many. I've had so much time, you see. But at least one of them is one called Mortal Love. It's by a woman named Elizabeth Hand. I would say that it's considered some sort of romance with modern fantasy and a little bit of a twist of sci-fi. What is it about? Well, if I told you, then you'd have no reason to read it. I couldn't ever rob you of such a wonderful experience, could I? That would be an absolutely terrible thing to do. Oh, and how do you like your tea? Alright. I can make that happen. But I do have to ask you, have you ever thought of trying a fairy tale or a fable, for your sleeping problem? I love fairy tales very much myself. Yes, those very things, the things your mom and dad would have read to you as a child, that brought you comfort, kept them near by your bedside to scare away all the bogeymen and Baba Yagas. Well, no, they're not just for children. You'd be amazed how a fairy tale can put someone right to sleep. Now, let's see. The tea is done. And now, there's 1 cup for you, and 1 cup for me. Hmm. Oh, too hot? Just blow across the surface like this. Now try again. Better? Good, good. Oh, no need to worry about what it's made of. Let's just say it's my own little sleepy time concoction. You just love hearing all my little secrets. Alright, well, how about this? We can make another exchange. I'll tell you what's inside. If you will stay a little while longer, perhaps come back again. Is that a fair trade? Well, lavender, chamomile, lemongrass, and here's the kicker, just a wee, teensy, weensy little bit of valerian. Oh, don't be concerned. Well, yes, it could kill you in large amounts, but then again, doesn't that go for just about anything? Not everything scary is bad for you, you know. And not everything scary is even that scary. After all, your fear of this is bred from the unknown. It's a human condition, but one that I am, I guess you could say, far too familiar with. What do you mean? What do I mean? Why do you think I'm kept here? Actually, I think I have the perfect story for you. I can see that your lids are growing heavy already. In fact, heavier and heavier by the second. The tea must be doing its job. Don't worry, you can trust me. Just close your eyes. Let them drift shut, as though there's little stones weighing them down, or as though they're blinds meant to block out the light. In fact, you stay right there. Let me turn out the lights and set up some candles and incense instead. No peeking. Eyes shut. lovely, doesn't it? Take a deep, slow breath. Breathe in that soft fragrance. Can you tell what it is? What does it smell like to you? Interesting. To me, it's Egyptian musk, like sandalwood, jasmine, ginger, vetiver, white musk. Now, let me see if I can find that tail I was talking about. Are you nice and warm and cozy? Good. This is a new one that they dropped off for me earlier today. Those people up there with their headphones and their special gear. They never stay to have a talk, to engage in a little bit of chit-chat. Not like you do. I told them, wrote them a message requesting the Grimm fairy tales. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Collection of stories meant to teach lessons and scare children into exhibiting acceptable behavior. And of course, to try to put them to sleep. It's interesting how fear can be used in many different ways. Preying and playing on the variance of the fight or flight response. Yes, here it is. The owl now. You just rest and listen to the story and let the tea work its magic. Two or 300 years ago, when people were far from being so crafty and cunning as they are nowadays, an extraordinary event took place in a little town. By some mischance, one of the great owls, called horned owls, had come from the neighboring woods into the barn of one of the townsfolk in the nighttime, and when day broke, did not dare to venture forth again from her retreat, for fear of the other birds which raised a terrible outcry whenever she appeared. In the morning, when the manservant went into the barn to fetch some straw, he was so mightily alarmed at the sight of the owl sitting there in a corner that he ran away and announced to his master that a monster, the like of which he had never set eyes on in his life, and which could devour a man without the slightest difficulty, was sitting in the barn, rolling its eyes around in its head.
"I know you already,"
said the master.
"You have courage enough to chase a blackbird about the fields, but when you see a dead hen lying, you have to get a stick before you go near it. I must go and see for myself what kind of monster it is,"
added the master, and went quite boldly into the granary and looked around him. When, however, he saw the strange grim creature with his own eyes, he was no less terrified than the servant had been. With 2 bounds, he sprang out, ran to his neighbors, and begged them imploringly to lend him assistance against an unknown and dangerous beast, or else the whole town might be in danger if it were to break loose out of the barn where it was shut up. A great noise and clamor arose in all the streets. The townsmen came armed with spears, hay forks, scythes, and axes, as if they were going out against an enemy. Finally, the senators appeared with the burgomaster at their head. When they had drawn up in the marketplace, they marched to the barn and surrounded it on all sides. Thereupon, one of the most courageous of them stepped forth and entered with his spear lowered, but came running out immediately afterwards with a shriek, as pale as death, could not utter a single word. Yet 2 others ventured in, but they fared no better. At last, one stepped forth, a great, strong man who was famous for his warlike deeds, and said,
"You will not drive away the monster by merely looking at him. We must be in earnest here. But I see that you have all turned into women, and not one of you dares to encounter the animal."
He ordered them to give him some armor, had a sword and spear brought, and armed himself. All praised his courage, though many feared for his life. The 2 barn doors were opened, and they saw the owl, which in the meantime had perched herself on the middle of a great crossbeam. He had a ladder brought, and when he raised it and made ready to climb up, they all cried out to him that he was to bear himself bravely, and commended him to St. George, who slew the dragon. When he had just got to the tippy top, and the owl perceived that he had designs on her, and was also bewildered by the crowd and the shouting, and knew not how to escape, she rolled her eyes, ruffled her feathers, flapped her wings, snapped her beak, and cried, "To-wit, to-woo," in a harsh voice. "Strike home, screamed the crowd outside to the valiant hero.
"Anyone who was standing where I am standing,"
answered he.
"would not cry, 'Strike home.'"
He certainly did plant his foot 1 rung higher on the ladder, But then he began to tremble, and, half fainting, went back again. And now there was no one left who dared to put himself in such danger. "The monster," said they, "has poisoned and mortally wounded the very strongest man among us. By snapping at him and just breathing on him, are we due to risk our lives?" They took counsel as to what they ought to do to prevent the whole town from being destroyed. For a long time, everything seemed to be of no use, but at length the burgomaster found an expedient.
"My opinion," said he, "is that we ought, out of the common purse, to pay for this barn, and whatsoever corn, straw, or hay it contains, and thus indemnify the owner, and then burn down the whole building, and the terrible beast with it. Thus, no one will have to endanger his life. This is no time for thinking of expense, and niggardliness would be ill applied."
All agreed with him, so they set fire to the barn at all four corners, and with it the owls miserably burnt. Let anyone who will not believe it go thither and inquire for himself. The end. How was that? Not quite enough, but you're almost there. So, perhaps we could talk about the story. Well then. Let me start us off. Shh, shh, shh. Just relax. Breathe steadily. Focus on that and the residual warmth of the tea warming you from the inside out. Let's see. You know, I think it is interesting. Tonight has been the night of owls. First, the poem, one that is an expression of the author's desire to be complacent. His wish that humankind would be much more like the animal, like the owl, that we would all just sit, be calm, instead of engage in all manner of things. He grew tired of the bourgeoisie. In fact, he seemed very much to despise it. And here we see one author viewing the owl as something to strive to be, something to epitomize, and then, on the other hand, we have the fairy tale. Do you know what the Aaron Thompson motif types for folktales are? No? Well, it's a sort of classification of folktales, common motifs and archetypes. This tale is type 1281, which is known as burning the barn to destroy an unknown animal. In this tale, the owl is a vile creature of mystery, and mystery, the unknown, is something not meant to inspire, but instead to be feared, so much so that it drives them to nonsensical means to get rid of the creature. Why nonsensical? Well, if you think about it, they have no proof the bird meant any ill will or posed any threat of danger, just because it looked different and intimidating. They immediately believed it to be thus. 2. Just because they've only ever seen one does not mean others do not exist. And as you and I both know, there are hundreds of thousands of owls out in the world, in the wild. Ridding it of one in a barn will not fix the problem forever. Such destruction for such a temporary fix. The end does not justify the means. And let us not forget, back in those days, a barn, well, was not something easily erected. Frivolous costs would be incurred to burn it down, and the time to rebuild, to restock. They destroyed something they needed in order to get rid of something that they feared, in the end, would have been harmless, and in fact would have likely helped rid the barn of the vermin it had. Mice, rats. I suppose that shows you not to judge a book by its cover, that sometimes irrational fears will lead you to do silly things. But my intrigue comes from how something so simple can be viewed in so many different ways. But I digress. It appears you've fallen asleep after all. Hey, you guys out there, the ones listening, tell me, how do you deal with fear? Do you run from it? Perhaps face it and fix what is at the root of it? Or do you go to wild extremes to stop it? Go ahead, comment below, and let me know some of your favorite ways to deal with the anxiety of fear. Well, for now, night-night, sleep tight, and do not let the owls bite.